Okay, good day everyone. So our topic for today is about exponential equations and inequalities. So the objective for today is basically for this topic is about this distinguishes between exponential function, exponential equation, and exponential inequality. So these are the definition of terms you need to be familiar with. So exponential equation, an equation involving exponential expression that can be solved for all x values satisfying the equation. So we have an example here. So 121 is equal to 11 raised to x. And then we have 3 raised to x is equal to 9 raised to x minus 2. And then we have exponential inequality. So it is an inequality involving exponential expression that can be solved for all x values satisfying the inequality. So here we have 64 raised to 1/3 is greater than 2 raised to x. And then we also have here 0.9 raised to x is greater than 0.81. So we have also exponential function. So it's a function involving exponential expression showing a relationship between the independent variable x and the dependent variable y or f of x. So here we have f of x is equal to 2 raised to x plus 3 and then y is equal to 10 raised to x. So we move to the subtopic, which is solving exponential equations and inequalities. So the objective for this topic is solve exponential equations and inequalities, basically. And so these are the basic properties of exponents that you need to be familiar with. Hopefully, you are able, we can able to review it. So the first one is the zero property, where in b raised to 0 is equal to 1. So meaning to say any variable, any number raised to 0 that is equivalent to 1. And then we have the negative exponents. So b raised to negative n is equal to 1 over b raised to n, or 1 over b raised to n is equal to b raised to n. So here, if the exponent is negative, just get the reciprocal of that given term or of that given number. So let's say, for example, I have uh, 2 raised to negative 9. So my answer or the reciprocal will be 1 over 2 raised to 9. And then we have product rule. So the quantity b raised to m times the quantity b raised to n is equal to b raised to m plus n. So product rule applies to terms with the same bases. Pag sinabi natin base, yung itong b na to. So it represented as variable b here. So let's say, for example, I have, let's say if I have 2 raised to 2 times 2 raised to 5. So I can have 2, 5 plus 2 is equal to 2 raised to 7. And then I will evaluate the value of 2 raised to 7. Then that will be the answer. Okay. Then next, we have the quotient rule. So b raised to m divided by b raised to n is equal to b raised to m minus n. So again, if they have the same base, okay, so what we are going to do with the exponent is we are just going to subtract it. And then power rule, so uh, any exponent or exponential function raised by another exponent. So what we are going to do with the exponents is we are going to multiply it. So let's say, for example, I have 2 raised to 2 raised to 3. So I can do 2 and then 2 times 3 is 6. And then I'm just going to get the value or evaluate 2 raised to 6. Then that will be the final answer. Okay. So next. So yan, move na tayo sa solving exponential equations. So let's have example number 1. I have 2 raised to 7x times 8 is equal to 256 raised to x. So basically, the goal for solving exponential function is to make the bases of the given the same or equal. Or sa Tagalog, kailangan yung base nila ay pare-parehas. So, dito, pansinin natin, the lowest value for the base is 2. So, can we convert 8 na kung saan makikita natin or we can change it into exponential form? Yung 8 and then the same goes with 256. So, dito, sabi, express all numbers with the base of 2. So, we have 8 is equal to 2 raised to 3 and 256 is equal to 2 raised to 8. So, ayun. Kaya yung 8 naging 2 raised to 3 kasi ang gagawin nga natin or ang gagamitin nating base is 2. So, pag yung 2 ni-raise natin siya sa 3, so that will give you 8. Kasi 2 times 2 is 4 times 2, 8. So, the same goes with 256. So, if we raise 256, if we raise 2 by 8, we can get 256. So, nakuha na natin yung goal natin na pare-parehasin na ng base, which is 2. Ayan, so we convert that. So, 2 raised to 7x, wala naman tayong binago dito. And then yung 8, ginawa natin times 2 raised to 3. And then yung 256, ginawa natin siya 2 raised to 8 and then raised to x. So, ayan. So, apply the product rule on the left while using the power to a power rule on the right side of the equation. So, dito, excuse, since pareha sila ng base, which is 2, so we can apply the product rule on the left side. So, the product rule states that, diba, if they have the same base and then the operation is multiplication, we can just add the exponent. So, we have 2 raised to 7x plus 3 is equal to, and then on the right side, we have the power rule. So, an exponent raised to another exponent. So, we are going to multiply the exponent a to the exponent x. And then 2 raised to 8x. And then here, we are ready to set the powers equal to each other since we are able to create single bases that are the same on both sides. So, now, ngayong parehas na yung base natin, ang i-compute na lang natin or i-evaluate natin para ma-solve yung value ng x is yung exponents. So, class, lagi niyo tatandaan kapag parehas na sila lahat ng given or lahat ng terms dun sa given, kukuhanin na natin yung exponent and then yun yung evaluate natin. So, dito ang exponent ng sa left side is 7x plus 3, kaya natin siya kinuha as 7x plus 3. Teka, annotate natin. So, 7x plus 3, ito yun sa exponent. And then, yung 8x, ito, dun sa exponent. Ito. And then after that, solve the simple linear equation. So, basically, ang ginawa ko dito is just subtract both sides by 7x to isolate or to eliminate the variable x dito sa left side. So, pwede din naman natin i-transpose. We can transpose 8x on the other side and then we can transpose positive 3 on the other side. Pwede din naman na yung 7x i-transpose natin dito sa kabila. And then, ayun. So ang nangyari dito, isang ginawa is yung 7x yung transpose dun sa kabila. So, kaya siya naging negative 7x. So, cancel out na to. And then, ang maiiwan is yung positive 3. So, 8x minus 7x, we evaluate this part. Kaya siya naging variable x. So, ang final answer natin ay positive 3. So, if we substitute this, kailangan mag-satisfy siya dito. Okay? Ayan. So, kailangan siguro natin gumamit ng calculator dito, no? Kasi 2, then 7, kasi the variable of x is 3. So, 7 times 3 is 21. So, 2 raised to 21, what will be the value of that? Diba? Then, kailangan equal sila. So, chinek ko na siya kanina, equal naman siya. So, proceed tayo sa example number 2. Okay. So, dito sa example number 2, automatic na to, no? So, we do not need to change terms kasi na kailangan pare-parehas ng bases. Dito kasi sa example number 2 natin, parehas na yung base. So, proceed na tayo dun sa next step, which is to evaluate the exponents. Okay? Then, after that, so parehas ng base, kuhanin lang natin yung, wait, annotate natin para makita. Kuhanin na natin yung exponent. So, for x minus 12, so yung exponent dito sa right side is 0. So, dito ginawa, we move negative 12 to the other side of the equation. So 4x is equal to 12, and then we divide both sides by 4 to eliminate 4. And then, ayan, 12 divided by 4, so x is equal to, okay? Ay, ito, mali to, 44. 4 lang yan dapat. And then ito, ayan, may typo error. Okay. So we proceed. Ayan, so solving exponential inequalities naman. So yung kanina, yung dalawang first two examples natin ay solving exponential equation. So for this part, we have exponential inequalities. Okay, so for example number 1, we have the given inequality 2 raised to 5x minus 9 is greater than 4 raised to x. So again, parehas lang siya ng gagawin kasi katulad dun sa pag-solve or pag-evaluate ng exponential equation. So basically, kailangan natin gawing parehas yung base ng dalawang given na term or kung ilan yung term na nasa given. So dito, dalawa yung terms natin. So we have 2 raised to 5x minus 9 and 4 raised to x. So as you can notice, we can change 4 into its exponential form, which is 2 raised to 2, and then x. So again, power of power rule. So kaya siya naging 2x na dito. And then after that, ayan. So we solve for 5x minus 9 is greater than 2x. So we are going to move negative 9 to the right side, move 2x to the left side, and then we evaluate. So dito, negative 9 to the right side, yung 2x, lipat natin sa kabila. So 5x, so again, positive 2x, pag nag-move, magiging negative, or get the opposite sign. So 5x minus 2x is 3x, and then yung negative 9, we move, so nagiging positive 9. And then we divide them both sides by 3. So we can cancel out 3 here, and then x is greater than 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. So this will be the final answer. Yeah. And then we move on to example number 2. Okay, so example number 2, we have solved the given inequality. Excuse. 1 over 16 times the quantity 1 over 8 raised to x is less than or equal to the quantity 1 over 4 raised to x. So here, the basis of the numbers or the terms so are different. So we are going to change the basis of the number to 1/2. Bakit 1/2? Yung 16, yung 8, saka yung 4. Yung 1 naman is constant naman yan. So any exponent na kahit ilagay mo sa 1, 1 lang din ang sagot doon. So dito sa 16, we can do, ayan. So 1 raised to 4 is 1, and then 2 raised to 4 is 16. Kaya siya naging 1/2, the quantity 1/2 raised to 4. And then dito naman, we can change 8 by 2 raised to 3. Kaya siya naging the quantity 1/2 raised to 3. So ayun, may x dito, power of power rule ulit. So we multiply 3 by x. Kaya siya naging 3x. Dito din, so 1/4. So 1 raised to 2 is 1. 4. So 2 raised to 2 is 4. So 2, ito yung 2. And then again, may x dito. So power of power rule, so kaya siya naging 2x. Ayan, ito yung explanation dito sa kabilang side. So dito, makikita nyo, we apply the multiplication rule. Since parehas na sila ng base, we just add or we proceed to addition para dun sa exponent. So kaya nakuha natin, ito, 1/2 raised to 4 plus 3x is less than or equal to, dito naman wala naman tayong gagawin, so bring down lang natin. So naging the quantity 1 over 2 raised to 2x. So, clear lang natin. And then we proceed. And so the next step, since parehas na sila ng base, yun na. Kuhanin natin yung exponents and then we evaluate. So dito 4 plus 3x. So ayun. And then bring down 2x. So mapapansin nyo dito, nagbago yung sign, not sign, nagbago yung symbol ng inequality. So sabi dito, note, if the base is between 0 and 1, the order of the inequality sign does change. So if the base is greater than 1, so the order of the inequality sign doesn't change. So ano yung base natin dito? 1/2. So yung 1/2 is between 0 and 1. That's why kukuhanin natin yung opposite symbol. So if it is less than or equal to, we are going to change it into greater than or equal to. So, ayan. 4 plus 3x is greater than or equal to 2x. And then, solve. Move 4 to the right side. Move 2x to the left side. So, to the right side, so 4 magiging negative 4. Yung 2x magiging negative 2x. Okay, so we evaluate negative 2x plus 3x, that will give you x, and then bring down negative 4. And then our final answer is x is greater than or equal to negative 4. Okay, class, lagi nyo tatandaan to ha, itong important note na to. So if the bases are between 0 and 1, so kailangan natin baguhin yung inequality symbol, or we are going to get the opposite inequality symbol. Okay. Ayan. So we are done with solving exponential equations and inequalities. So we move to representing an exponential function. Ayan. So given, by the way, representing an exponential function, so we are going to represent exponential function using the table of values and then using the graph. So here we have given f of x is equal to 2 raised to x. So again, I assign value for x, and then and then we are going to compute for the value of f of x. So x is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then later on we are going to identify the values of f of x. Here, so substitute the values. So if x is equal to 0, what will be the value of f of x? So just substitute 2 raised to x, 2 raised to 0. So again, di ba, yung sa basic properties na exponent, any number, any variable raised to 0, that is equivalent to 1 lagi. So the same goes here, x is equal to 1, so 2 raised to 1 is 2. And then if x is equal to 2, so 2 raised to 2 is 4. If x is equal to 3, so 2 raised to x, so 2 raised to 3. Dito marami nagkakamali. Akala nila minumultiply natin yung 2 sa 3, sa exponent. No. Sa 2 raised to 3, what we do here is we multiply 2 thrice. So magiging 2 times 2 times 2. Kaya siya naging 8. Kasi 2 times 2 is 4 times 2, 8. Okay? Baka malito kayo kasi kayo dito, saka dito sa part na ito. Dito sa if x is equal to 4, so wala tong plus 3. Ayan. Sorry. So 2 raised to 4, hindi ulit siya, hindi siya 2 times 4, 8. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that will give you 16. So the same goes here, 2 raised to 5 is 32. And so now we already have the values for f of x. Lalagay na natin siya sa table of values. Yan. So given f of x is equal to 2 raised to x. So values, ito na, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. And then since we already have or we already completed the table of values, i-graph na natin siya. And ito na yung graph niya. So as you can notice, ito yung table of values natin. And then pinakita ko lang din, ito yung ating given exponential function. So makikita nyo na nag-i-intersect yung or nadadaanan nung graph yung mga points na binigay natin. So ibig sabihin, tama yung mga points na na-compute natin. Okay, so again, if you are going to represent graph, pwede kayong gumamit ng Desmos application sa phone, and then you can also search it into our web browser. Just go to desmos.com. So it is a graphing calculator, and it's also a features scientific calculator. Okay, and so example number 2. So if we have an exponential function, the quantity 1/2 raised to x minus 1, or the quantity 0.5 raised to x minus 1. I highly suggest, if you're going to compute exponential function, or we are going to represent it, it is better to change the fraction into decimal form para mas madali siya i-compute as well as mas madali siya i-graph. So dito again, nag-assign ako ng values. So the same values, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So paalala lang ulit, so values of x, any number will do as long as you follow the number line. Pwedeng mag-start ka sa -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Okay, so I just use 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I substitute the values. Okay, so 0.5 raised to x minus 1. So 0, 0 minus 1 is -1. So that will give me 2. So 0.5 raised to -1 is 2. Then after that, so the same process, x is equal to 1. So 0.5 raised to 1 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So 0.5 is 1. So if x is equal to 2, 0.5. So 2 minus 1, so 1. So 0.25 siya. Okay? And then here, if x is equal to 3, ayan, 0.5 raised to 3, so 0.125. 0.5 raised to 4 is 0.0625. And 0.5 raised to 5 is 0.03125. Then after we get the value, all the values here, isa-substitute na natin siya. Oh, 2, 1. Ayan, may error dito, typo error. So instead of 0.25, so 0.5 raised to 1 is 0.5 lang. Okay? Ayan, and then ayan, i-substitute, i-plot na natin siya. So 0, 2, 1, 1, 2, and 0.5. 3 and 0.125, 4 and 0.0625, 5 and 0.03125. Masyado na mahaba. Okay, ayan. So ito yung ating table of values, then ito yung graph. So as you can see, nai-intersect naman niya lahat ng points na plinat natin. So ibig sabihin, tama yung ating graph. Ayan, so these are my references. Pwede kayo, kung meron kayong internet connection or may data connection kayo, you can go to these references na ginamit ko para sa ating lesson for today. So you can go to chilimath.com, so desmos.com, the calculator for graphing. And then we have XIM simple edu.com. Okay? So that's all for today. Thank you and God bless. So if you do have questions and clarifications, you can ask now.